Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Mailchimp and how it compares to ActiveCampaign, and when you would use ActiveCampaign and when you would use Mailchimp. Now you can use one or the other, or you can use both as well. But most of the time you would choose one over the other. Now, and that's because they're both very similar systems. Now the main difference between ActiveCampaign and Mailchimp is Mailchimp has been designed primarily to be sending these campaigns, to be sending a one-off newsletter to your list. That's really its strong suit, and that's kind of the main feature of Mailchimp. Whereas ActiveCampaign does have that campaigns feature, but it also has automations, and that's really its strong suit, is these automations. Now, Mailchimp does have automations as well. However, the automations in Mailchimp are very limited, to say the least. So an automation in Mailchimp is really just a sequence of emails, where you might have email 1, email 2, email 3. And if we have a look here at email, we'll go automated, triggered. And you see how we've only got a couple of triggers here? Very, very few triggers for the emails to be sent. In ActiveCampaign, on the other hand, we have a lot of triggers, and we can trigger emails from a whole range of different things. So here's our triggers. Here's all of our triggers. We can trigger them from the CRM that's built into ActiveCampaign. We can trigger them from our e-commerce integrations, a scoring feature. Now, CRM, Mailchimp doesn't have. Scoring, Mailchimp doesn't have. It does have e-commerce, Mailchimp. Mailchimp doesn't have goals, so that's another one that ActiveCampaign has. Mailchimp doesn't have events or web page triggers, so that's another one ActiveCampaign has. And then the rest Mailchimp does have. So first up, you have a lot more triggers for when your automations can start. And then secondly, we've got a lot more options on how to build your automation in ActiveCampaign. So in Mailchimp, you can just build an automation like this, where it's just got email, and then a wait, and then an email and a wait. So here's the email builder in ActiveCampaign. We've got all the templates, similar thing to what we have in Mailchimp. And the email builder, it's a little bit more clunky in ActiveCampaign, which is why I say that Mailchimp's email builder is a bit better. But here in ActiveCampaign, it's a little bit more clunky, although they have improved it a lot over the years, and it is actually pretty decent now. It just takes a little bit of getting used to if you're coming over from Mailchimp. So we'll save this email here. And with ActiveCampaign, the automation builder is really powerful. So we've got this email here that we've added. Then we can do all of these actions, and we can have a look here. We can send SMSs, send notification emails, send site messages, send another email. We can wait between emails, build these sort of if-then branches, split the automation evenly for a period of time, go to, jump to, goals, start and end other automations, send webhooks, perform math, make changes to contacts, add to Facebook audiences, unsubscribe from lists, subscribe to lists, change scores, do things in CRM, integrate with Salesforce, integrate with all these other apps that they've got here. It's quite a lot that you can do with an automation. In the Mailchimp automation, all you can do is send an email. So it's not really an automation, in my opinion. So let's just have a look here. We'll go back to our automation builder, email, automation, and we will say, welcome new subscribers to that list, begin. So here is the automation builder. Okay, so we straight from the get-go, we can see, okay, it's a little bit more basic. We've got who this is sending to. We can send the update the filter. We've got who it's from, the subject line, the content. Now, the one that I selected was just a single email automation. We can also build out more automations, campaigns, all campaigns. We can build out multi-email automation. So create an automation here, email, and we'll call this automation again. This time new subscribers, but this time we're going to do an onboarding series. And of course, it's going to ask me to view plans. But essentially, it just allows you to do a wait. If you're going to build it out in Mailchimp, it would just look like this. And that's all you can build. You don't have the option of building anything other than an email, a wait between, and then an email and a wait between the next email. So Mailchimp automation is not really an automation. It's just a sequence of emails. So that's a major difference. Now, when we're looking at the pricing for Mailchimp, it has this free plan. Now, that does attract a lot of people to Mailchimp. And to be honest, it's not a good thing. You may be attracted to Mailchimp because it's got the free plan. And so, particularly when you're first starting out, you may just use Mailchimp as a default because you can start and not pay anything. Now, the trouble with that, ActiveCampaign doesn't have a free plan. And the trouble with this free plan is that a lot of email spammers use this free plan. And that's bad because it actually damages the Mailchimp sending and deliverability, because you've got all these people that aren't really following the best email marketing practices. They're just scraping lists of contacts, blasting out emails using the free plan until their account gets blocked, and then they just create a new account under this free plan, do it all over again, gets blocked. And so you get this sort of churn in this free plan level. And unfortunately, that does negatively affect all the other plans. However, Mailchimp do know that, and so they have separated the IPs out for these different plan levels. But the main thing really is if you're using the free plan, don't expect to have great deliverability. In fact, expect to have pretty poor deliverability on this free plan. Once you get into a paid plan, then yeah, the deliverability is pretty much the same as what you'll get on ActiveCampaign, if not a little bit higher, because Mailchimp is sending more emails and therefore they will have a higher sender reputation than what ActiveCampaign will have. Now, when we're comparing the plans, this one here, the Essentials plan, $10 a month, limits you to 500 contacts. 500 contacts on, and that is US pricing, I think, on this one. Yep. So we'll just change that. In fact, maybe we might change it over here. Doesn't look like we can change the pricing here. So just to compare it, we'll just change this to Australian. That will give us a better idea. So here on the light plan, we've got $15 a month, 500 contacts. This one here, Essentials plan, doesn't include automation. So this just lets you send email broadcasts. So straight away, ActiveCampaign lets you send automations with $15. So you're already ahead out of the gate there. Then you're moving up to, if you say the standard allows you to send automations, so you've got to pay a little bit extra for that. And then you've got 10,000 contacts, includes everything here. Now let's have a look at how this scales with more contacts. So at 2,500 contacts for both of these, 2,500 contacts. Mailchimp you'd have to be on this one here, is $43. On ActiveCampaign on the Lite is $49. So it's a little bit more expensive, but again, you do get a lot more for it. If you do want to use the lead scoring, the CRM, etc., then you'd be paying $160. However, most of the time, I would just simply use Pipedrive. Then you're only paying $20 extra instead of $120 extra if you just want the CRM. And for SMS marketing, I don't really use ActiveCampaign SMS marketing. I integrate that with TextMagic or JustCall. And again, you're either paying per text or a monthly fee of $10 there for JustCall. $20 for JustCall, sorry. Or TextMagic is just per text that you're sending, which is very, very affordable. And dynamic content, yeah, that's pretty fun to use and probably worth that extra cost. Integrations, you do need this if you want to use the e-commerce. For Mailchimp, integrations are on this one here, I think, standard or premium. Might even need to be premium to get the integrations, but one of those, probably the standard one, will have the integrations for e-commerce on it, which is important if you've got an e-commerce store like Shopify or WooCommerce. Now, both are supported. Mailchimp actually tends to be a little bit better for those e-commerce integrations because it's the bigger player in the email marketing space, and so those integrations tend to put a bit more time into building out those integrations. Whereas ActiveCampaign is a little bit smaller, and so it doesn't get as much developer love, but that's fine. And then we've got the larger plans here with ActiveCampaign. You do get a lot more with these extra plans, but to be honest, the Lite plan or the Plus plan, that's pretty much the only plans that most people will use. And for Mailchimp, most people will be using the standard plan, which comes with pretty much everything. And then the premium plan just has advanced customizations, which most people don't need at all. So that is that as comparison. My preference is ActiveCampaign because it's pretty much the same price as Mailchimp, and you get a lot more. You get this amazing automation builder. And then if you do want to pay extra for the CRM and the lead scoring, you can pay extra and get that all built in, which is amazing. The reports in ActiveCampaign, they're not as good as Mailchimp, but Mailchimp's reports also aren't amazing either. I would say both of their reports are pretty much the same as each other. If you do want in-depth reporting out of those systems, then you're not going to get it. You will get open rate, click rate reporting, deliverability reporting, etc. You do get a little bit more sort of custom reports like tag trends, form trends, etc. in ActiveCampaign, but you don't get those in Mailchimp. But Mailchimp does give you slightly better reporting for e-commerce, attribution tracking, open and click rates, etc. So it's a bit of a mixed bag because the automations in Mailchimp are really a massive letdown in terms of what you can automate, and ActiveCampaign is really the industry leader for those automations, and that kind of pushes ActiveCampaign over the line. Actually, it does push ActiveCampaign over the line in terms of my preferred system because of those automations. That's really 80% of what most people will use their email marketing system for, is an email sequence that they set up once, they forget, it runs every time someone fills out a contact form or schedules a call or makes a purchase or doesn't make a purchase. And it's just there all the time running for you. Whereas if you are in Mailchimp, then yes, you can set them up. They're going to be pretty basic. But the main thing that most people use Mailchimp for are these one-off email blasts. And really, Mailchimp is built for that mum and pop store who have a retail storefront. They maybe collect a couple of hundred people on their retail list, newsletter list, and then they blast that out once a month. They might send one email a month to that list to try and drum up some business because a business advisor told them that they should be doing email marketing. And that's really Mailchimp's niche. Whereas a smarter way to do it would be every time a person joins a list, you have an automated sequence goes out to them, and then you integrate ActiveCampaign to your product system, and when they make a purchase, they get another email sequence, stops the other one, and you have all these different automations that happen behind the scenes that you don't have to think about. And that is what ActiveCampaign does, whereas Mailchimp does not do it very well. So ActiveCampaign, hands down, 100%, I'd recommend ActiveCampaign over Mailchimp any day of the week. You're not paying really anything more for it, and you're getting a ton more features. Also has like global variables Mailchimp doesn't have, custom fields ActiveCampaign handles really well. Lists ActiveCampaign has, the advanced contact search, amazing feature. Mailchimp's contact search is pretty clunky. Automations we've talked about, RSS feeds, both of them have them. That's pretty much it. ActiveCampaign has forms built in. The Mailchimp forms, not the greatest. Also, ActiveCampaign forms aren't the greatest either. But the integrations for ActiveCampaign, there's a lot more integrations, whereas Mailchimp tends to have has a lot of integrations, but has a deeper integration for the e-commerce side of things. ActiveCampaign's e-commerce is a little bit lacking, although they are pretty much coming up. They're running full pelt to try and catch up to Mailchimp on that. But I always recommend ActiveCampaign over Mailchimp. It is my go-to system. If you choose it, I'm sure you won't regret it. It's an amazing system, and yeah, it's really my recommendation.
Hi, I'm Mitch Bayless, and if you're looking for someone to help you with your business automation, then click the button below to schedule your free call today. And if you found this video useful, remember to click like, and also subscribe to our channel for more videos.